Hi everyone, it's Clive. Welcome to the Mitchell Brewery. It's time to start brewing again for the 2014-15 brewing season. I've got the boiler on. I'm making a batch of awesome IPA, my own recipe. I'm using my own hops. Here we go. I've grown these myself and dried them, and time to get cracking. Happy brewing! The mash tun has been sitting, well, it's been at least a couple of hours now, a little bit longer than I anticipated because I forgot to put the boiler back on. So let's just take off. This is my little bit of insulation just to make sure that I retain the heat, and we'll just take that off. There we go, remove all the mash tun, and then some of my favourite parts here. We'll just have a look. Oh, look at that. Oh, smell the malty goodness. Well, I haven't got smell-o-vision yet, so you can't, but there you go, that's ready now to drain off sugary extract and then sparge the water which I've just boiled and cooled to just less than 80. That will go through the pipe, through the malt, and then be captured into one of these containers down here. Okay, let's just drain off the first of, see actually, the first bit of sugary extract is quite cloudy, so what I'll do is I will put this back into the top, and then the existing grains here will act as a filter bed to filter out all the particles, and hopefully this will run a bit clearer. Right, as you can see, I've connected up a little pipe with a fine rose from a watering can on the end, and basically the cooled and boiled water will flow through here and wash out the sugary extract. So let's just turn on the water. Here we go. You can see, nice fine rose. I'll just play it across the surface of the grain and then wash out all the sugar into the bucket down here. This is the malt extract in the boiler. It's nearly at temperature, so it's about 98 degrees at the moment, and it's not far off, just waiting for the hot boil. Okay, the malt extract is now boiling and ready for the hop addition, so I just need to weigh out some of the hops. Okay, we're into the last 20 minutes of the boil, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add half of the remaining hops at this stage, and then a few minutes before the end I'll add the remainder of the hops. And the idea is that if you add them towards the end of the boil, then all the aromas and flavours won't be sort of evaporated away, so you retain some of those lovely flavours of the hops. This seems to be an occupational hazard of using a boiler of this type, is that occasionally the heating element gets coated and fools the boiler into thinking it's well, I don't know what it does. Basically, it basically means that the heating cuts out. So I'll have to empty it all out and clean the heating element, then put it all back in again and then heat it all back up again. So it's a bit of a pain, but not a lot you can do about it. You can see firsthand what the problem is with the heating element. Can you see? It's coated with, well, I assume it to be sugar, and that has caused the heating to cut out. So I just need to scrub that off and refill it with a very full looking extract here. Last 15 or so minutes of the boil, I've popped the chiller in, and that's connected up to the outside tap. I've also got the last half of the hops to go in. That's going to go in now, and then I'll put in the residual hops in the last couple of minutes of the boil. Here we go, the beer is in the primary fermentation bin, and I've got the yeast which I'm now going to pitch into the beer. Here we go, I'm going to take the yeast and I'm going to pitch it into the beer. Now I'll seal it up and leave it for a week, and then the first stage of fermentation will have completed, and I'll transfer this into a pressure barrel. Well, it's a week later, and the first primary fermentation stage has been completed, and here you go, the bubblers stopped bubbling. You can see there's a nice layer of sediment at the bottom, and I'm now going to transfer this into the pressure barrel. I've got a siphon which is sterilising in here, and I'm just ready to do the deed. I've also got 2.5 ounces, which is about 71 grams of just ordinary granulated sugar, which will go into here, and then that will be all sealed up, and that will be the second stage, and it'll be in here for 3 weeks. Here we can say very simply, the bottom of the siphon, you can just about see it, there it is in the bottom, and the beer has been siphoned through into the barrel. Here we go, we've got quite a decent barrel full there, and what we're left with in the primary fermentation bin is this. So this is the residue of the fine malt and also the yeast as well. Next I'm going to add the sugar. I've got 71 grams of sugar in here, and I'm going to mix it with a bit of beer and then add it in the top rather than just adding it as it stands. Right, that's ready to be left for 3 weeks, and I'll come back to it and hopefully we'll have some nice beer brewed.